Good morning, everybody. I have with me today Jennifer Durbin and Stephani Bishop, both of Redneck Girls Sign and Design, located just between Porter and Kingwood, Texas. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning. We're great.
So, I really am not too familiar with Redneck Girls Sign and Design other than what I've seen on Facebook, and it's really pretty extensive.
Yes, sir.
So I know that you've worked for a whole bunch of people. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do and a little bit about your facility, Jennifer? Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we've been right at 4 years. In January, I'll be in business total. Started in January of 2017, and so actually 3 years. I'm sorry. So we are in Porter, and we have a 3-bedroom, huge shop that is looks more like a home. It's more of a commercial office building, really, and we do everywhere from signs to banners, billboards, shirts, hats, any and everything that you would think that would be print related towards a business or organization or group in the area. So, and even if it's something I don't know if I can offer, I will find a way to make it happen. So,
Okay.
thus the fact Redneck Girls. So
Cool.
yeah.
So basically, just any commercial type signage y'all would be able to do,
Or personal, either way,
or personal.
but yes.
And then you also do specialty products as well, like T-shirts, hats, and
Oh, yes, sir.
coffee mugs.
Absolutely.
Good. When we're done here, I want to talk about coffee mugs.
Awesome.
So, because I don't have any with the logo on it yet, but we're going to get there. Now, I know that y'all are also interested in doing a little bit of expansion in the future, and you've just recently purchased an embroidery machine, I guess.
Yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What have you got, Stephanie?
Well, it's a Baby Lock venture. It's a 10-needle machine that we can also do our own design work on the computer and then upload it to the machine, and it will print on hats, stitch on hats, shirts, whatever we want.
Really? And is this like vector type stuff, or is
Yes.
it? Wow. So you have to take a drawing and vectorize it, and
Yeah, but that's not a problem because we've got a program that does that, so
Okay.
it's easy.
yeah,
And it does 1,000 stitches per minute, and that's really fast.
that is fast.
Yes.
And so, besides just T-shirts, can you do like polos? And,
Yes, we
Absolutely.
do polos,
Wow.
whatever you need, we'll do it.
Cool. And is there any limit on how many you can do? I mean, what's your production time on
Nah.
something like that?
Depending on the size, say it's like a 5-6 letter word or name, it can be done in less than 2 minutes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so I guess your turnaround time's pretty good on
it's
those
pretty
two?
quick, yeah. And
Yeah.
I also sew patches on I've got a few clubs that I sew patches on for now, and we're getting ready to make patches for another organization that's right down the street from us. So I've already got some loyal customers coming
That's
to
good.
us.
Yeah, that's great. So Jennifer, I know that you do a lot of like decals for vehicles and stuff like that.
Yes,
Seems
sir.
like it would be really hard to do wraps. I mean, because you've got so many angles and curves and this, that, and the other, so it's got to be a difficult process.
It is.
What's the process? I mean, because I don't think a lot of people understand what all is involved in doing something like that.
No, I really don't
So-
think that they do.
Yeah, so from like concept to actually sticking it on, what do you have to do?
Well, really, the customer needs to know what they actually want to go on there, and most of the time they don't. So
Wow.
they throw out there, oh, well, just throw me some ideas. Well, I need to know a little bit more about your business first before I can do that, and what you do for a living, so I can try to make that match what's going to go on that vehicle.
Right.
The last actual wrap that I did was on a brand new Jeep Renegade, which is the worst car probably to do a wrap on, the most curvature that you could think of, and it is so not.
It's just not friendly.
No, it's
Yeah.
not, and especially when you have to do it twice because someone rams into it with a trailer, so you have to do it again within not even 6
great.
months. So
Oh,
it
wow.
was great.
Yeah.
But I mean, from that point, I actually designed their logo, and then from there they ordered multiple items, but it had a splatter of paint, and then lettering and things like that. So, and also window perf on the back. I don't know if anybody knows anything about that, but I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's really new product, but it's
Right.
It's really nice.
Yeah, perf beats solar screen
It
all day
sure
long.
does.
Yeah.
And then, but with windshield wipers and things like that that don't come off, that's a little more challenging as well. And then
Yeah.
if you're going from 80 degrees to 40 degrees in the rain, or you're trying to keep things, a neutral, weather condition. Is a little more difficult, especially in our wonderful Texas weather and the humidity that we have.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's not easy. And if you're doing it by yourself, which usually I would, it's a lot more challenging.
Yeah.
So you have to have some serious patience, and sometimes you get tested pretty.
So, I guess you sit down at the computer and you just start to design. And do you have to get specifications from, like, let's say Jeep in that particular case?
Normally,
how do you do something like that?
Normally, it's kind of just, it is. There's programs out there that you can download different templates and things like that for your actual vehicle you have. Sometimes they're not as easy. Sometimes you can just basically get just the dimensions of how it's going to place on there, and whatever you don't use is cut off. So that's not normally an issue. Boats are fun. Jet skis are fun. I love doing those because they're usually like, oh, just take it and do whatever you'd like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you might not want to tell me that, because you'll come back and I will seriously have some cool stuff on there. But, you just kind of, I don't know. I have a gift for making people happy and finding out what they actually want. And usually I nail it on the first try. Whenever I send them a proof, they're like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. So it's very rare for me not to hit it on the nail.
Yeah, but that's common for people who are really good in graphics, though. And I know that from experience because I've kind of been through it.
Right.
But yeah, you can teach somebody how to use like Photoshop and Illustrator and stuff like that all day long, but that doesn't make them a good graphics person, because that comes from within. And then, that's just an artistic ability that somebody, I think, is born with.
Yeah, and then the problem is I didn't actually take any classes or any courses or anything like that. I actually am all self-taught. Which
makes you a better graphics person,
yes.
in my experience. So.
I may not even use some of the programs that some people do, but I actually was a trainer in a large retail location for many years, teaching people how to do these things, even though I was self-taught. And I learned how to do things by screwing them up really bad and then fixing it.
Oh, yeah, that's the best way to learn.
And that's the only way that I learned how to do it. And I'd tell people, don't do that, because I screwed it up really bad last time, and you're going to regret it. Don't do that. And then, but that's just how, in my opinion, I'm just like one of the guys out there. If I screw something up, I'm going to fix it. I will find a way to make anything happen. So I've done all this stuff by myself for all this time without any help.
So let me ask you this. How'd you go from retail to the sign business?
Well, I was really well known in anything that I do. I'm always an overachiever. I've always just push and push and push. I never, ever leave. I always work off the clock and just really try to motivate everyone around me to, just be the best that they can be. And I actually worked somewhere, and got into a sexual harassment charge with my store manager, and he ended up let me go before the case really went into effect. And then, so I literally started with not a penny to my name. Wow. I had about 70 customers. I had very, very loyal customers from that that office place that I worked. And they followed me, and they had faith in me and said they would, continue to follow me wherever it was that I went. So I did not know what I was doing, had no clue, but I did it, and I've overcome many, many, many obstacles in the 3 years.
Some of the most successful people in business start out that way. They start out because it's a necessity. Yes. They don't know what they're doing. And here's the cool part about not knowing what you're doing. You don't know what won't work. So you're willing to try everything. Right. You give everything a shot. And,
very much so.
And then all of a sudden stuff starts sticking to the wall, and before you know it, you're actually making a little bit of money.
Yes, sir. My first big job I took was immediately within the first week and a half of going into business, per se, by myself. And it was a big billboard I did in Huffman that I should have charged a lot more money, but it was my first job, and I'm going, oh my gosh, do I even know how am I going to do this? I don't know what I'm doing, but I know how to design it. I know how to get it printed. I know how to do all these things. And, I charged them $2,000, and I did a double-sided billboard that was a huge, 15 foot by 30 foot up in the air, in the middle of the rain. and with a lift boom and all that stuff, and me trying to figure out how to operate that with somebody up there, an ex-boyfriend, and almost put him in power lines, and but it looked amazing, and it's still up until they took it down about a couple months ago because they didn't renew their lease, but
Right.
it was up for right at 3 years,
Yeah.
and it looked amazing, the same as it did from day one, and I was very pleased with it. Everyone always commented about it, and I can't believe you did that. Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
it was really awesome.
Well, it
So-
commands respect, man. I mean, it really does, because it takes balls to go into business by yourself.
It's scary.
I mean, it's scary. It's scary. You don't know where your finances are going to be. You don't know what kind of liability you're going to have.
Yes, sir.
And it really takes balls. And I mean, it's impressive because not everybody has that.
Well, after 3
So-
months into it, I actually shattered my ankle, and I was on crutches for 6.5 months. On top of that, and immediately getting off of that, we were into Hurricane Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
So yippee.
Wow.
And so it really was challenging. And then almost immediately after that, my truck was stolen. So I had no vehicle.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
been really a challenge. I was actually homeless for about 3 months.
But you just keep hammering.
And I
you know?
kept
That's-
pushing and pushing. I worked out of my shop, which was a big, huge storage building last year, until I found where I'm at now by faith. I mean,
Wow.
God knew what he was doing whenever he put the location I have in front of my face.
That's good.
So, yes, it's very awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
So, Stephanie, I know you just recently came on, and I don't know from what industry you came out of. So let's talk a little bit about where you've been and what your plans are for Redneck Girls.
Honestly, I haven't worked for quite a few years.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that. I have a condition called spinal stenosis. It's a narrowing of the spinal cord, and it agitates the spinal cord. So I had where I couldn't wear anything touching my spine for a long time because
Wow.
it would make me hurt and give me migraines. And it started 20 years ago, just very small and gradually until the point where and it took almost 20 years to actually get a diagnosis. The doctors were just clueless. But
Doctors.
right. So, I was a stay-at-home mom. I've got 4 kids. So for a long time I did that. And I was doing some sewing out of my house because, like I said, I've got a couple motorcycle clubs that I sew for. Some of the greatest people I could have ever met and gotten involved with. And I went to their birthday bash last April, and it's so much fun. And everybody was always so kind and looked after me and my husband, going, can we get you anything? Do you need something to drink? We got this over here to eat and this. But yeah, I went from there, and a couple of times she had posted that she needed help, but I was always one step behind. But the last time that she posted that she needed help, I jumped right on it, texted her, said, hey, I'd like to come talk to you about it. And we had met several years before with our kiddos playing softball. So we already knew each other somewhat. And I went that day from going to my kids' high school and picking up pants for the ROTC program that I was hemming for them to talk to her, and I started the very next day. It's been just a little over a month, and she's been a godsend because she doesn't care about, whatever the limitations my clothing might give me, because not being able to have a lot of things touch your spine makes it hard to go into the workforce
Yeah,
because
it's
you
tough.
can't wear what is considered appropriate work attire.
Right.
So she was just a godsend. She was like, I don't really care. As long as you do what I ask, pay attention, listen, no problems. And it's just
show
been,
up whenever
I'm right
show
there.
up when you say you're going to come. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
main problem,
The
too.
first day I was like, okay, I'll be here at 8 a.m. And she was, I think it caught her off guard that I was there at 8
Afternoon
a.m. She
time.
was like, they're here. She's here. When she said she would be. And just from there, I just pay attention to what
Right.
she's showing me. Try to, pick up the slack. I started doing things that I just saw her do, and I go like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and start this for her. And it was just, she didn't even have to go. I just did it because from watching her.
Right.
Right.
And now we're jumping into expanding into the embroidery. Looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
And there's a lot of need for that out here too.
there really
So-
is. And she'd already had so many customers asking, do you do
Huge.
embroidery? Do you do embroidery?
Right.
And we actually just sent a job out of house to be done for somebody because we try to make the job happen. And with that one, I told her, I said, that's it.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. I brainstormed and I looked for the financing because the machines are not cheap.
Yeah,
You're
right.
talking between $15,000 and $18,000.
Yeah.
And this is a 10 needle one, so it's right up there.
Right.
Because you also have to buy software to go with it to run it from your computer, and there's all the accessories. And one machine I looked at, they wanted $1,100 just for the hat hoop.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm gonna go with the other one. It comes with it.
Right.
And, you know, it's really a leap of faith too, because I mean, if you don't already have an established market for that, you say, okay, I'm just going to add this and go. That's tough.
It's a big leap of faith.
It's
It really
definitely
is.
It's cool.
I'm just happy she had faith in me, and she's just going, this is yours, because I know nothing about sewing.
I can't even sew on a button on a pair of pants. I'm going to learn it, you know.
I told her I'm going to teach her how to sew a button on at least.
Yes, absolutely. But we have a ginormous group of customers. I mean, in the area, I've done things for so many people. So my customers absolutely love me. Once they start using me, they don't go anywhere else. So they know what my quality of products are. They know what I'm about. They know they can contact me at 2:00 in the morning, and I'm probably going to respond for the most part. I mean, but because that's just who I am. But absolutely, we have a huge group of people that I'm sure are definitely going to make that machine pay itself off within a very quick amount of time.
Yeah, and it's, you know, you wouldn't think that the sign business is a demanding business, but I know it is. I mean, it's actually crazy, you know, because somebody will come up and say, hey, I need the sign, like, can you get it done today?
And it's everybody and their mother wants it yesterday. And that's not really possible for the most part, but I mean, we still try to get everything done as absolutely quick as we possibly can. And usually it's up until I got Stephani, I was getting way overwhelmed because I had so much business coming in, and I could get it designed, but I couldn't get it produced.
Right.
And so that's where she came into play when I had hired people that would never show up on time and would never, you know, once they got there, they would want to talk for 45 years, you know, before they would actually get started on the job. And that's not what I need to do. I mean, we have a job to get done, and just let's get it done. Yeah. And then we'll get you paid. Now, you know, the time frame to get things done is a lot faster, and it's awesome because we do pretty much everything we do in-house. Nothing is really done outside. So it is nice. Mainly, we do a ton of banners, yard signs, and
we've done a lot of yard signs lately.
Okay.
Shirts and I've done a lot of construction businesses, like insane right now.
Yeah, that's what a lot of them have been, is the construction companies.
Right. Absolutely.
And so have your customers mainly been in the Montgomery County area, or have you done stuff outside? Or
I have done a couple different things outside. I do a lot of stuff in Huffman, which is in, you know, Harris County. Right. I grew up and graduated in Huffman, so I know I don't know as many people now, just mainly my age, that, you know, but they see, because I've obviously played Facebook to my advantage.
It's the way to go.
And added myself to groups.
I mean, smart.
And
real smart.
I'm actually pretty intelligent, so I know how to network myself, being the fact that I was a manager that was over a department that was about businesses and stuff previously. Right. So I know how to advertise. I know how to reach out to people like I did you, myself, and just really, I'm a people person, and I'm a talker, so awesome. I'm going to throw myself out there, and the worst anybody can say is no. Right. Is no. So, I mean, and that's not going to offend me, or, you know, at least you know who I am, and you might use me next time.
There you go.
Whether, you know, it's whatever, but we do stuff. I do stuff in Kingwood, done stuff in Atascocita, things like that, but I mean, I would love to get more into the lighted signs, which I've definitely been looking into.
Like LED stuff and
LED,
stuff like that?
large. I've done. We've done some storefronts here in Porter, and did one in Dayton. Fixing to do another one in Huffman, a storefront sign that goes on the top of the building where I'm dangling from an awning for hours of the day.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But which is so much fun. But we figure it out, and but I would like to do more of that, and really expanding into that, where I can get, you know, lift equipment, or instead of even rental is fine, but having your own is even better. So
sure.
But absolutely would need another employee, I'm sure, at that point.
Well, that's kind of the goal, to get busy
bigger.
Enough that we need one or two more people on hand.
Yeah.
So I guess the majority of your customers would use you for pretty much all their stuff, like business cards, signage,
everything from the beginning. But from the beginning, they once usually I was really catering to some of the businesses that were just starting because my pricing is absolutely unbelievable. It is so below everyone locally, and it's not because my quality is bad, because it's actually above all.
Right.
But it's because I don't know. I feel like people shouldn't have to pay that much to get started, because I know what it's like and how to start from nothing. But once those people use me to get started, they're going to continue that, and it's going to just keep growing and growing. Right. And of course our prices do go up because the market goes up. And our cost goes up on things, just like during COVID. I mean, It was ridiculous to get vinyl, and the time frame was stupid. I mean, and it's still kind of ridiculous. They'll tell me I'm getting something on Friday, and it doesn't come till the next Wednesday.
Yeah.
But
we've had the same problem with product as well. It's tough.
It is tough. And then, of course, during the election, we we did the Trump hearse. That was pretty interesting. He was a previous customer of mine.
Yeah.
And a construction customer who I did a bunch of stuff for, so we could go to Louisiana for the hurricanes. And then the election really gets into full swing for Trump. And so we did the Trump hearse train.
And nobody else would do it for him either.
Nobody else would do it.
Wow. Just because they were scared of what might happen, because you're going to get.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, in Montgomery County, you're looking at 80% Republicans.
I know, and I actually.
So if you lose anything, I mean, is it really going to make that?
Well, and that was the thing, is that I waited 3 weeks before I allowed my company to be known that I was the one that did it, because of that. But I also looked at everything and I said, you know what? I'm pretty sure, because of my name of the business to begin with, Redneck Girls, they're not, the Democrats are not going to come and shop with me and do things with me to begin, for the most part. Yeah. My opinion.
And
so, you know what? This thing is getting nationwide recognition. I mean, all over. So, you know what? This is probably a good time for me to throw it out there that, hey, us little bitty girls over here in Porter, Texas, we're the ones that did that. And,
again, it takes guts. So,
and I was scared at first. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to be shot at, or am I going to come in and my windows are all going to be busted in the shop, or am I going to have people following me, whatever. But, and I've had a couple of ugly, nasty, like,
trolls,
really bad messages from people. And, I tell them just to suck it up, and take your crap down the road, because go dig yourself a hole.
It's just politics, and that really doesn't have a place in business anyway.
For one, I don't do politics really up until literally the last 2 months, like at all, like period. I couldn't even have told you when Trump was running for president the first time. I didn't even know that, to be honest, until the very end. So I don't do politics, but the thing is it was a customer request for a job, and I do that job to the best of my abilities. A+ quality, and I do what they want. Yeah. And if I would have been asked to do a Biden hearse, I would have done the Biden hearse, but I wasn't.
Yeah, I've
only been asked to do,
stuff for the Republicans,
the stuff for the Republicans, and the opposite, just kind of making fun of Biden. So I mean, I'm not going to tell them no. That's just, I'm not.
You're not in the business to tell customers no.
I'm in the business to make money and grow and gain money. So
let me ask you this: you mentioned COVID a little while ago. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed in going, because we frequent a bunch of restaurants, and I seem to be pretty much everywhere these days. And there's a lot of decals everywhere, like for tables and decals for businesses. And decals for the floor. Have y'all done any of those kind of deals?
Yes. Actually, when COVID did first start, we did she wasn't around, but for Jason's Deli in Humble. Oh, okay. I did several things. I did 2 ginormous banners, and then also some signs for the sidewalk stating that they were delivering and things like that because of COVID. Right. Some of the bars have, I used to be a bartender many years ago too. Okay. But I do a ton of work with the business, the bars in Montgomery County. So they all know me. But I actually joined a group for Texas bars who was fighting back against Abbott. And I was asked by many, many of those bar owners to do signs stating that they won't shut down or, come and take it, 51 percenters. Right. So my business, I probably went through about a 2-week dry spell when COVID first started, literally I was booming. I mean, booming going into COVID. I had never been that busy before, ever. And then COVID hit, and it hit a dead halt for 2 weeks. Big orders that I had 700 shirts placed with the Montgomery County like select swim team, the Eels. Literally placed the order and told me, stop printing, don't print on the shirts. We don't have income for it. You know, we're going to have to wait till the next year. Okay, so I was like, oh my gosh, what? I didn't feel like it was going to be that big of a deal. I didn't think it was actually going to affect me per se. I guess I just wasn't really, you know, I haven't had television for many, many years, so I'm too busy for that. But I didn't realize how crazy it was going to get. But after the 2 weeks, I put a big banner on the feeder of 59, you know, saying open during COVID, blah, 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 whatever. You know, businesses need signs whenever they say they're opening it back up again.
Sure.
So we do that. Buster Brown just did some stuff with me now that they're open again. And just, you know, the schools constantly, they're needing stuff now that they're back open.
Right.
So thank goodness the schools are back open because they are a big part of my business too. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I hate to tell you this, but it looks like we might be going through another shutdown again. So I don't know if that's
not.
you know, that's what I'm hearing anyway. I'm hoping that it won't happen. But if it does, and who knows, you know, it may affect you the opposite way this time, since you've already been through it, since people know, hey, I can go get decals there, and you know, because who knows what they're going to implement the next time.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Just like, you know, and thing is that, you know, I don't spend a lot of money, you know, except on my business.
Sure.
And getting more supplies for the next job or whatever it might be. So I save a lot of money, and I'm not scared about COVID because I've actually overcome a lot of things since I started. So I don't plan on letting this stupid, you know, flu virus per se affect me and shut me down. That just gives me more motivation to get my butt out there and hustle more, because that's what I am. I'm a hustler.
There you go.
Always have been and always will be, no matter what. I won't let anything stand in my way. So
let's talk a little bit, and I know we talked about the new embroidery machine that you have, but what other equipment do you have to give somebody a better idea of what your capabilities are?
Well,
I know you've probably got one of the big printers that'll print big
I have
decals.
several of those actually, and I had a small embroidery machine actually before that even that I didn't even get out of the box, to be honest, because I was too busy. But we keep tons of supplies. I have a large cutter for vinyl cutting for the decals. It's not a Cricut or a Silhouette. It's a large industrial business machine where I can cut tons of stuff per day. Also, I have, let's see, I have 3 heat presses that are very industrial. They're not the crafting heat presses that your shirts peel within one wash. It's not like that. We will soon have a sublimation printer for some of this stuff. Right now, most of the shirts that I do are screen printed heat press, so they actually last longer. I do have a hat press, but I want to switch everything over to embroidery because people tend to like that better. Right. And then I keep all the vinyl yard signs and all that stuff on hand where we can do it as soon as we can. So, I do order some things out, but it's not very much. Yeah. Back when I first started, I probably ordered 99.9% of things to be done by a outside vendor. And I was the middleman. Well, now that's not the case. So we are super busy. Cars in the driveway nonstop, getting graphics, boats, everything. So
so you're a full-blown production shop.
Yes,
able
sir.
to knock it out.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
What is a sublimation? What did you call that?
Sublimation is where it prints on it looks like a piece of white paper is what it looks like, and then it's heat pressed to a shirt. That's a lot of crafters like to do that kind of stuff, but also businesses, if they have the lighter color shirts, they like the 65% polyester, 35% cotton. They're a softer, it's to get a full color image onto a shirt versus just a one color or a two color or whatever. So screen printed heat transfers are the same scenario. It just costs a little bit more, but it's necessity for for full color printing for shirts.
Sound like you know your stuff, because I definitely don't.
She
depends
does.
Depends on what you ask me. Like I said, I'm self-taught, so
Yeah.
some things people ask me, and I'm like, a what? Oh, you're talking about coroplast, not, whatever it is. And I'm
Right.
like, huh? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, and I have a friend that does like a CNC cutting type stuff and
Oh, wow. Okay.
and a 3D printing stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to just back up, because I don't know what you're asking me, because I don't do that, so I don't know yet. That might be something later on, or maybe I can team up with you and
Right.
get some jobs done, but possibly for the Splendora ISD, I don't know.
Yeah.
We got a big job coming up for them, so
Very big.
So during the political season, did you do a whole bunch of political signs?
I did. I actually did all of the Conroe mayor election stuff for Jody Chakosky. They were actually my customers before for 2 years ago for the he was running for the council, the seat position, I think position 5 if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago, and he actually won that at that time, and so then he ran for mayor this year, and his wife Nicole, she was actually a lawyer of ours, a family lawyer, and she hit me up and said, "Hey Jen, like, here we go again. You ready?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes, ma'am. Let's get it done." So we did.
500
thousands.
or more.
We did probably at least 1,000 double-sided, 18 by 24 yard signs.
Wow.
Just a regular size, and then
That's
we
a
did.
bunch, yeah.
We did 100 of the 4 foot by 4 foot banners, magnets, T-shirts, business cards.
We did 500
postcards.
Republican 2x6 decals.
Decals
in
within a
2
day.
days.
It was a day and a half. We did
Really?
500.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
All in-house.
Yeah, that's a
It
It
quick
was
turnaround.
really quick.
And then we did some little handheld signs for their watch party, little Trump
Trump.
handheld signs.
We did it, and that was all done within the day that a day or two that they ordered it quickly, and so we didn't quit till we got it done.
I took stuff home. We'll put it that
we
way.
took stuff home, and I'm on my laptop till hours and wee hours of the night all the time working on stuff, so I can just get back the next day and get it going. But that's just how I've always done it, I guess. But yeah, we did a ton of stuff for the political. We did that. We did. People were asking me, "Jen, I need some Trump signs." Yes, we have them. Come and get it.
We did some Trump shirts.
Yes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, for the watch party at
Pit
the
Row
new
Pit
diner,
Stop
because
in
I
Ucany.
did do stuff there. Their signs when they grand opened. I did some food signage for their main road sign. I've done stuff all over the community.
Yeah, Frankie's cool. I know Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie's nice. He's cool.
Yeah, my teenage daughter's working there as a waitress on the
really?
weekends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's got a good place over there too. The food's all right.
Yeah,
yeah.
I donated a big cross for him. He has it right there by his office.
Yeah.
An ex gave it to me, so I figured I'd pass it along to the
There you
next.
So you know everybody in Montgomery County,
I do.
obviously.
A lot of people
yeah.
know me that I may not even know. Like I said, Jason Dunn, Rowdy Hayden. I know TJ Knox. TJ Knox is throwing my name out there a lot.
TJ's a good guy.
He
yeah.
is,
He's on the fire board with my wife.
I know his
ESD
daughter. His daughter is
7.
actually getting married to basically they're like family to me. She's getting married to Jonathan, which was like my I don't know, my second son.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. His mother is my best friend, so she's a teacher in New Caney. So,
Right.
of course, this is being a small town. One person knows 45,000. I do rent from Ty Trout.
Yeah.
My property is on Ty Trout's property, and which are amazing people.
Yeah.
I absolutely love them.
Yeah, great reputation.
Yes, and of course, being the fact that I met her from softball, but my daughter is a senior in New Caney High School, who is very, very well known as well, top 8% of her class, and she's going to be getting a basketball scholarship. But because of that, the basketball coaches use me. The teachers use me. They always are. The cheer coach, Jen. Somebody lost one of our cheer signs. We're going to tournament tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Yeah. I'll help you. So it just I did K Park state championship volleyball decals. All kinds of stuff.
Signs for them this year already,
Signs and T-shirts for breast cancer awareness.
Yes.
So
That was
pretty
a lot
much
of shirts.
anything somebody would need, you can knock it out.
Yeah, I did all the signs that
That's
are on
good.
the New Caney softball and baseball fields. All the sponsorship signs that are out there.
Right. And there's a few
I gave
of
them
those,
a great. There's a bunch
Yeah.
on the softball and baseball fields. Probably almost 30 between the two fields. I gave them a great price in exchange for my sign being on both fields. You kind of got to work with the community and
Sure.
And for an exchange, same thing with Caney Creek softball. I do the same thing with them. So I've done stuff for all of the project graduations locally.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I am part of the New Caney Project Grad
Yeah.
parents
Okay.
group. So just once you get in with that little small group of networking that's huge in this area that everybody is
one
well
leads to
known.
another,
I mean,
sure.
once you're in there and you treat people right, then you're good. I mean, you're golden.
There you go.
And
I got
those
you.
people are absolutely
Understand.
amazing.
Yeah.
We just started working with Taylor's organization. So
Yeah.
I am right down the street from them. Literally, I can walk to their front door and knock and say, "Hey, Alan, what's up?"
That's cool.
So, and that's where Stephanie has. She
She's
knew
hitting
them
me
already.
up for patches.
Oh,
So, it's big. I may be small, but it's rapidly getting larger and gaining a lot of profit within the last 3 years. So it's actually quadrupled in business this year,
good.
Yeah,
which
more-
I didn't think it was
Yeah, if
going
you're making
to.
money, that's a great sign.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
More
And
people are hearing her name and knowing the name of the company, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's pretty catchy. You can't really
It
forget.
really, it's an unusual name. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought, wow, that's ballsy. I mean, I
Well,
don't know
you
another
know-
way to put it. Because most everybody has some corporate name.
They want it to look professional.
Well,
Right, that's
and-
professional and accepted. This is completely different. I like it. It kind of shows who you are.
It
It's her.
absolutely shows who I am.
It's her.
Because like I said, I can dangle from a roof for hours a day to get a sign installed, and I might complain almost the whole time and bitch and moan, but
And
I'm
come
gonna
down
get
covered
it,
in dirt.
and I'll be filthy. But I get it done, and it looks amazing. So at the end of the day, I'm still pleased with what I do.
Awesome.
And I love taking them pictures and being able to post them and
That's
getting
the way to do it.
recognition.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
My main thing is that, my little slogan or whatever is, just a small town country girl trying to make a living out of doing what I love, because I do. I love doing it, and I love seeing my stuff in the community.
Sure.
I love passing it and going, I did that. Just like, the guys that are plumbers or construction workers. Oh, I did that job.
Yeah.
Well, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. And it makes me proud. Or if my
good.
kid, she drives by, she's like, my mom did that. Oh, my mom did that too. She gets kind of tired of saying it. But, it makes me proud, and it makes me realize that I'm trying to make a difference in the world and trying to help people that are just starting, and organizations and things like that as well. So I'm not trying to just get rich off of it, I promise, because
Right.
my
You're part of
prices
the
do not
community.
allow for me to get rich over it.
Yeah, and being part of the communities, I mean, almost a
It
necessity
is.
in a small town.
It is,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
So I got a great question for you.
What's that?
And it's probably something you're not gonna expect, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. Where do you see this company in 5 years? Do you think you're still going to be in the same location? Do you think you're still going to be servicing the same groups? Do you think you will have expanded enough to where you'll be doing stuff outside this community? Going to be a big business? Going to be a small business?
Funny
the
thing
funny
is
thing
I
is,
just asked her that
Literally
question
2
a week
weeks.
ago.
A week
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
ago.
Literally the exact
Well, good. Then you
same
should
question.
be. You should be primed for
Well,
it.
I don't know about that, because I
She wasn't primed for it
I
then.
didn't
I
know
caught
what
her off
I
guard.
didn't know how to answer it then. In my head is, I know where I started from, and I did not know how the hell I was going to get to do. How I was going to even anything. I was scraping to make rent. Okay, and I got to hustle. I got to go get another job because I got a light bill due.
Yeah, we've all been there.
It's not like that now per se. I have people coming to me versus me out there just really just hammering people. But I don't know how the world is going to go in the next couple of months or years,
Right.
especially with the election and everything. But I have a vision, of a small little nice shop on a nice piece of property, like a barn dominium type looking thing, because that's like a little dream of mine. I do want to get bigger, but I don't want to get so big that I don't know each individual customer personally. Some of them I do not meet, but I still talk to them very much so through emails, text messaging, whatever it is, however they contact me. I still have every bit of contact with every single one of them. Whether they could even knew me from, seeing me because they haven't picked anything up specifically from me, they still will come back to me. But I don't want it to be so big that I don't do that, because that's who I am. I make everything very personalized. It's just, I'm a different person. I'm a real straight down to earth country girl, and I want to continue to be a part of all these groups that I'm a part of. Yes, I do want to grow and get the business back. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to continue to be in the same location in 5 years. I do have dreams, but I do want to continue to see growth and profitability from year to year. Absolutely. My daughter will be in college, so that opens me up for a lot more time to do things. But I mean, I would love to be able to make tons of money where I can donate sponsorships for all these other things that I see everyone else doing.
Right.
And being a part of all of that. But I do as much as I can now. Whether I really think that I can or not, I still take a leap of faith, and I'll put, I'll do the $150 sponsorship or whatever it might be. I'm hoping that some of the embroidery, bringing that in, will really help bring in that other spectrum of my customers instead of them going somewhere else.
Sure.
Well, I will totally be the complete package, where we could have before sent it out, but it takes 2 to 3 weeks and it's a pain in the butt. Now it's a couple days turnaround and we're good to go.
You're there.
Yeah, so I don't really know where I just know that I'm going to still be around no matter what. There's no doubt. There is no doubt that I won't be around. Wherever I am, people know that I've had my cell phone for 12 years and I don't plan to change it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Stephanie, I know that you're going to be a great addition to this company.
I plan on sticking around with her for a long time.
So that's good. And together you guys make a dynamic team. I mean, both of you got guts, and heck, this is crazy. So, I'll turn on everybody that I know to you too, but it seems like we know the same people.
We do.
So.
I know a lot. I did Commissioner Met's logo this year. So I've got that pull, to be able to do that kind of stuff with them. And definitely, I've done some stuff for some big people. And even if I haven't done stuff for them, they know. I haven't personally done anything for Jason Dunn. Yes, I did do a sign for the softball fields or baseball fields for him, but he's the one who recommended me to Splendora. He says, "Girl, you're the bomb. You're the bomb."
Yeah, Jason's a good guy.
Yeah, and so I mean, I know I go to the road. I'm at the rodeos, and like I said, I may not know people, but they know me. They're like, "Hey, you're," and I'm like,
There you go.
Who are you?" So I mean, yeah, absolutely. I know, and people it's word of mouth, man. Whenever you're a small business, and if you screw up something, believe me, everybody in the world's gonna know.
Oh,
It's very rare.
Welcome to social media.
Yeah, sometimes your best friend, but sometimes not.
That's it.
I don't think there's anything that I've really screwed up per se that I don't take full charge of and just really fix it for them.
And it happens.
And it does happen. And it's sometimes an honest mistake, and sometimes a file it had to be edited, and it didn't. My computer crashed and burned for a minute, and it didn't save it, and I had to fix 10 shirts or something. I mean, it happens, but I'm the first to admit I screwed up, and so I'll fix it. And usually they'll still even usually pay me for what they get, because they know that my stuff is worth that. So and we work with our customers. I'm never going to tell a customer no. I can promise you that. I don't ever tell anyone no. Whether I'm up till 4 o'clock in the morning finishing something, I don't tell anyone no. If I don't know how to do something, I will find a way, no matter what.
Yeah, and it seems like on the weekends, that's when everybody wants to call and place orders. It's like we'll come in Monday morning and go, "We've already got 10 orders."
Yes.
They called over the weekend, so it's like
having a personal life is kind of a challenge, but it's okay. My business has gotten me through the homeless stage, everybody in the world hates me stage, and all these crazy, phases in my life that I've been through that were pretty challenging. But my business is what kept me going, and I refuse to let it fail. And so I know it's going to continue to just keep growing because I have that faith in myself. And I may not be very confident in a lot of things, but I'm confident in what I do for a living.
Yeah.
So that's
Should
about it.
Yeah,
So
should be.
if I can't have a personal life, then my business life is going to be amazing. So I'm going to have a lot of money.
There you go.
Try to anyways.
So if you haven't been there yet, guys, go to Facebook and look up Redneck Girls Sign and Design, and you might as well sit down because you're going to be there for a while. It's pretty extensive, but it gives you a real good opportunity to see the kind of work that these fine people do. And I just have every faith in the world that you're going to be around the next 5 years. And not only that, but the business will be a whole lot stronger, and hopefully we'll be living in a better place where we won't have to worry about COVID and pandemics and all that other BS.
Yes. Absolutely.
Ladies, I had a good time, and I'm really glad you came out today and spent some time with me.
We appreciate it.
Not a problem.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's always fun to sit in here and chat, especially with people that I've just met, and get an insight as to how they look at business and how they look at the county and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks again. I appreciate it, and we out.
Thank you.
All right.